I never liked the word because of this prejudice towards humans, as if humans are the cause of a problem, which is just plain idiotic. The problem existed 300 million years ago. I just decide I'll make my own category and say these categories can exist somehow compatibly. But they really can't.
I'll just say, you asked a question about somehow anti-natalism is anti-efilist, and I'm saying, well, of course, I'm an efilist only because anti-natalism doesn't go far enough.
As I pointed out before, I really don't like the word anti-natalist. That's why I chose another one, because I'd rather say anti-life, I'd rather say pro-extinction, I'd rather say death to DNA. How about that? So yes, I'm an anti-universist. I'm an anti-something, but not this stupid natalist word. And these people are, again, they don't have my agenda. They don't have my values. Well, the vast amount of suffering is not happening to human beings. Human beings are tiny percentage of the mammalian life, and they're a tiny percentage of the sentient life on this planet. So frankly, the fact that humans go a little loopy or do something double stupid or triple stupid would be a rather insignificant uptick in the amount of suffering on planet Earth.
So is your view that if everyone on Earth had a high school education, it would be more likely than not that humanity would decide to go extinct?
It would have already. Every civilized nation is in domestic negative population growth. Every single one of them is in declining native population. And the only thing increasing their population is importation of the morons from the third world. And so, yes, I believe that you give people a high school education and they will go below that 2.2 replacement population number, and that's extinction.
I don't necessarily think people would disagree with effilism, the red button, if you said to them that it's not about you or humans. Like, they are upset about the red button because it involves humans. Because they want the animals for them to enjoy, for them to profit, for them to exploit, for their children to enjoy. The animals would have no meaning or value without human consciousness. And I think that's how we can present effilism.
There's no goals that are reasonable other than pressing the red button. Once you get all the people down to a very finite group of people through just the mechanism of not reproducing, and then you annihilate the fucking earth and kill all the animal life.
If effilism ever became widely accepted by humans, it wouldn't take long to reduce the human population. The ethical issues here would be that there would still be a need to create new humans for a few more generations to execute the extinction plan, and that these humans would be born and raised to fulfill a specific purpose.
You've said on many occasions, and I absolutely agree, that in an endgame antinatalist world scenario, we would have to extinct the animals first to make sure of their safety, get them out of Dodge. And I think this is really this is where the avoidance with a lot of the other antinatalist community comes, because this is where things start to get a lot more complicated. Do you believe that we would be able to sterilize all the animals?
No. Extermination is the only practical method. It's just a harm to sit there and pretend you can find some, benign way to get the job done. If you want to stop the pregos, you got to stop the pregos.
Do we continue to have kids until we do that? Until we're
well, if you're having less than replacement population, fine. Yeah. So as long as it's so, again, you let people have kids who've earned the right to have kids by some stupid standards. But I'm saying it'd be better if they just stop it. But go ahead, because what's the difference? And I'm just saying, if the last, death is inevitable. So all you're really just saying is that this is the time you decide that this is the end. So I guess there would be no point in having a kid a week before we're going to blow the world up. But, I say, even if you did, so what? It's one fucking kid. So what? I mean, again, you're not sentencing it to 10,000 years of torture and pain. You're going to blow it up with the rest of this shit.
And so I think antinatalism has, antinatalism is already this big spectrum of ideas, and there's so many different versions of it, and, differences between those versions and everything. But I think that as time has gone by, there's just been more recognition that effilism is making the whole argument, and that antinatalism is becoming, that is absorbing sort of what effilism was doing, and that they are sort of becoming more and more sort of one and the same thing. Even Mendham has said, like, it doesn't really have to be called effilism. I mean, I still defend it as a term. I think it's very important as far as like what it's done for the development of everything. But what really matters is that people have the full argument. I do think that eventually what really needs to happen is they just need to become one and the same thing. And I'm not for personally trying to find some new word, just because I think the ball is already rolling, in a big way on antinatalism. I kind of think that is the term we're stuck with. But I want antinatalism to be its whole full self, and not just not just a piece of the argument.
Their arguments suck. Telling me I'm pro-violence? Fuck you in the ass till fucking goddamn dead, you lying sack of shit. I've never advocated a violent act, ever. Unless it's the only fucking choice.